ridiculous. Sorry about that. Now you will possibly know, if you know about cars like this, the Rover 25 does have a slight problem with the boot wiring loom. Constantly flexing, eventually the copper wires give up and snap. And then certain things within the boot don't work, like your high level brake light, like your rear window wiper, like your number plate illumination lighty things, and the boot lock itself. Anyway, the solution of course is to snip, solder in, put back. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay. Hello! Yeah, it's not even a Rover 25, it's a Fiat 500. I'm pointing that out because I would have thought it was fairly obvious, but there are individuals knocking around who've had their eyes replaced with Brussels sprouts, completely oblivious to everything. Nope. Nope. And finally, no. Right, that tailgate doesn't even work. So you have to access the... Oh, that doesn't work either. Oh dear. Not a lot is working with this car, is it? Luckily the passenger seat does fold forward so I can get into the back, and as we can see it's already prepared, ready for me to clamber in. First and most obvious problem is that the boot loom can only be accessed if you open the boot first. And if you can't open the boot because of the boot loom, you've got to take drastic action. And that is for me, you've either got to cut the loom to access it and then short it out, or take the latch off. So I'm going to do that.
And this afternoon from BBC Radio 4, removing the 500 boot latches.
There we go. Open. That was a bit more of a faff than I initially anticipated. The same kind of thing. Basically, shorting out everywhere it goes. It's a mess. Okay. Where's cabbage?
I was just saying to Paul, just jump that, went on the boat from behind the car. That's it. So I thought that
Going to work with a ladder. Nice big scratch down the side of the Audi. A surprise Fiat 500 in the yard. To get the key. So I said, yeah, let's go and get the key. And it wasn't really just around the corner, it was Ashton, which is on the other side of Oldham. And so, back to the most exciting job of the week. Nope. Yeah, that. I've basically got to put all this lot back together and insulate this a bit further and check everything works. I was hoping that all I would be doing would be wrapping this lot up and putting the bits of interior trim back together, but no. There are still a couple of things that aren't quite right, but I've checked everything. Everything's wired up to the correct place, everything's got a decent connection. So, fuses. Let's have a look at the Fiat 500 fuse box. Yep, there it is, right down there. To get any of those fuses out, you need these long nose pliers to actually grip them, because you can't get your fingers in there properly. But then trying to get them back in is really rather awkward, because you can't see what you're doing. That means that having had a chat with Senior Mustard, he's going to pop down and do a couple of other tests. It's useful to have him about, it really is very useful. Being a retired man, he's always happy to be doing something like this. Isn't that lucky for me, eh? The OBD reader picked up all sorts of faults on the go, including the BCU, and injectors. Not a happy car, this. This car is like the opposite to He-Man. It's never going to be shouting, "I have the power!" Now look at that little thing in front of us, eh? Mark II MX-5. That's something I'd like to have a go in. And I'm absolutely certain, at one point in the past, I've seen that car before and remarked on video that I would like to test drive it, which is considerably more than I would like to say about that Fiat 500. Yeah, it's not going too well, that. Everything's been checked, double checked, checked again, but what's happening is the lights are activating the boot, which is a really weird thing because it's not connected. So the only explanation can be that it actually has a BCU fault as well, which is unfortunate because I don't have the means to actually deal with that at all. It's one thing resoldering wires and stuff like that and putting them back together, putting bits of trim together and all these other kind of things, but BCUs, that's a bit more specialist. It's another job to add to the Project Nigel list of disappointments, unfortunately. Anyway, at least I've made a sort of video, not much of one, clearly. Not even a clear one. Look at the state of that. I'm guessing this video is probably only about 3.5 minutes long, but they can't all be feature length, can they? And that's it. The job's sort of done. Don't really want to string it out into something else. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for being sympathetic to the fact that not everything can be fixed. And thank you for being a channel member, and thank you for liking the video, and thank you for sharing it with absolutely everyone you've ever met in the entire world and their uncle. Bye.
Observe the washing machine irrelevant to this video.